What Moody told us today is not news at all. And quite frankly, their outlook downgrade is about a decade too late. We've known this entire time that the pace at which the liabilities are accumulating is unsustainable. And more importantly, it's only Wall Street that has belatedly woken up to the fact that China's growth is on a slowdown path. And that only makes the problem a lot worse. Now, the real takeaway, I think, here is that it does not do anything to change Beijing's plans, which right now the party is incredibly focused on making sure that the problems in the financial system that are propping up here and there, they do not metastasize into a broader system-wide problem.
Can they stop that from happening?
There is no magic wand. And that's what they're trying to do is make sure that they identify the areas where the problem is the worst, the provinces where the problems are the most severe, and take them one step at a time. They're also very focused, of course, on making sure that there's enough liquidity now at the local level to provide developers money that they're going to need in order to deliver the apartments to households and consumers that they've taken the money for, but of course have not delivered in many years at this standpoint. So I think they're doing, it's a piecemeal approach, it's a step-by-step approach, and they're hoping that they don't have to deal with all the problems in one go.
But isn't also the problem that, while all of this is happening and they're trying to, put out all of these spot fires, that domestic confidence is absolutely in the doldrums. No one's speculating. We just got right now the finance minister, Lynn alluded to it, they're trying to up the caps when it comes to pension fund investment because other pension funds around the world are saying no to China. So if, as this progresses, in terms of your expectation, without, and I hate to say it, but something substantive happening via the way of them taking on their balance sheet, the central balance sheet, a lot of the problems from elsewhere, do you see a way to fix this otherwise?
The larger problem here, Will, is that the central bank, the Chinese government in general, is going to end up throwing a lot of good money behind bad. They are going to keep stepping in to plug in the holes. And the real impact of that is that it's going to cut back on growth, which means that it will inevitably feed into parts of business sentiment, parts of consumer sentiment potentially even. So the economic outlook, by the way, is really, really bad because you are ultimately diverting resources away from productive uses.
The whole idea of peak pessimism around China, Shehzad, do you think it's run its course?
Absolutely. That big, growth story, the growth miracle, as we used to call it, that has come to an end for quite a while now, as a matter of fact. The China that the world now needs to prepare for, markets more specifically, is a China that grows at sub 5% and could potentially grow at a far slower and lower pace than that very soon. The real thing to look out for is, can they manage an economic transition? That's what's really going on here. That's behind deflating the property bubble.